Hi guys, I'm Lynn, and today I wanted to talk to you about proper fit for running shoes. There's a big difference in all of the shoes. There's a variety of different brands, but there's a variety of different purposes for each specific shoe. I could talk all day about the different levels of stability, neutral, cushion, why they're made, and blah blah blah, but that's not important yet. So I'm going to talk about why it's important to get a good running shoe. So everyone pronates. You're going to hear that word sometime. We all pronate. That is basically just the rotation of our feet when standing or walking. So there's overpronation, which is, so here's your feet and you roll in. Okay, overpronation. We've all seen those shoes, or those people, or you are that person whose shoes wear out really bad on the inside. Okay, if you look at the shoe, it's leaning in to some degree. Majority of people overpronate to a certain degree. So there's different levels of stability for that. There's neutral pronation, which means just staying straight on your feet. And then there's underpronation, or what some people call supination, but it's actually underpronation. So that's walking more, staying completely on the outside of the feet. You're probably saying, well, I land on the outside of my heel. Well, everyone does. It's not whether or not you land on the outside of your heel, it's how much you come in after landing on your heel. So you hit the outside of your shoe, okay? So you hit the outside of your shoe when you land, walking, running, whatever. And then you come down. So what we're trying to see, yes, they're dirty. What you're trying to see is how much, if you're coming to the inside, if you're staying straight, or if you're staying on the outside of your foot. So if you're coming in and staying neutral, you just need a basic regular cushioned shoe. You don't need any additional stability because that can cause injuries if you don't need it. If you overpronate a little bit, you'll want a little bit of mild medial stability. So what stability is, so this is the inside of the shoe. So stability is going to be right in this area here. It's going to be a posting that is going to be a denser foam or plastic or something, depending on the brand, that is going to overcompensate for that, for your overpronation. If you overpronate more, that posting on this side is going to be bigger. And the more you overpronate, the more stability you need, because the goal is to get your feet to be neutral, okay? Neutral stability, or neutral pronation, is proper alignment, because once your feet are aligned, the rest of your body is going to be aligned. If you overpronate, you're more likely to get knee and hip injuries because they're not stabilized, therefore they're off alignment, and running on that, you're impacting so much on the wrong area of your knee or your hip because of that misalignment. So it's important to get proper fit shoes so that you know how much stability, or if you need any stability. If you underpronate, so you stay completely on the outside, pretty far on the outside, there's no posting to bring you in neutral. That would be still a neutral shoe. So into the different shoes. A lot of people, there's so many different kinds of shoes out there. We've all heard of the minimal stuff. They're going away from the regular shoe to be lightweight and hot bright colors and whatever. But what if that's not for you? What if you get injured when you wear them, or it's just not comfortable? There's a variety of different shoes. So this specific shoe is a trail shoe. What makes it a trail shoe is the lugs on the tread. Okay, so you can see the tread. But also right here, you can see that extra purple right there. That is a rock plate or protection plate. It's going to protect the bottom of your foot from rocks and stuff like that. So that's more specific for trail running. So if you're on trails, majority of the time it's important to get a trail shoe so that to avoid bruising of your feet and stuff like that. Next, we have like kind of a more traditional shoe, okay? So what this is, it's gonna have more cushioning in the base of the shoe, and that more cushioning, it's personal preference as to how much cushioning you have in your shoe. Me, I have a variety. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing shorter, faster speed workouts, I want a lighter weight shoe. If I'm doing longer distance running, I'm gonna want a little bit more cushion. And if I'm just doing a regular everyday run, I have my regular everyday running shoes. So I have a variety for the variety of my needs. With a traditional running shoe, the heel counter, so the difference between the heel and the toe is gonna be higher. So in women's shoes, it's anywhere from a 10 millimeter drop to a 13 millimeter drop. To give you an idea of how much that is, so 4 millimeters is that of the thickness of a nickel. Okay, so you double that or triple that, depending on the thickness of your shoe, or which shoe it is. So any kind of lift in the heel can be good or bad for different people. It depends. Some people, when they drop their shoe, can have a lower heel to toe drop. It has caused problems. It takes a while to adjust to that, and that's important to consider when buying shoes. Next. So these shoes are some awesome shoes that I love. These are a 0 heel to toe differential. So from the heel to the toe, it's exactly even. So when I use these shoes, I have no lift in my heel. Therefore, I'm gonna land more midfoot instead of heel. So when I land about right there. Because that's better for my calves and my Achilles. It takes time to adjust and get used to it, but you can do it. So these have a medium amount of cushioning. They're light, but they're not super lightweight. They have quite a bit of cushioning there. And again, like I said before, the amount of cushion in your shoes is personal preference. Next. And yes, these are brand new. So then there's shoes like these. You can see that. So this is super, super lightweight. This is gonna be kind of in the category of like the Nike Free, but 100 times better in my opinion. So these are really lightweight. They're more considered like a racing flat, something that's great for speed. So depending on your preference as to light, heavy, medium, somewhere, wherever, is personal preference. You gotta try it all on. I get a lot of customers that come into the running store say, I want a lightweight shoe. Well, how do I know what lightweight is to them? Depending on the person, I get a good idea. For generally the older population, I know that a regular running shoe is lightweight for them. If they're younger, typically it's something like this that they're looking for. And so getting a good feel as to what the purpose of the shoe is, why you want it, and depending on the support that you need. Because I'm a neutral runner, I can wear whatever, really. It opens it up a lot more to me because I don't need to look for that additional stability. If you overpronate a little bit, it's important to make sure that your running shoes have that stability. It'll help immensely avoid so many injuries. It'll help you to run better, longer, injury-free. And that is the goal. So, a lot of information, a lot of different shoes. So go get fit. People are going to read online. You're going to see a lot of different things, but the most important thing is find a local running store and get fitted. And I say local because it's important to support your local. They have so much advice. They're going to help you a lot, and it'll help you get more excited about running and about this journey you're on, because you have a good pair of shoes, and it is so worth the money of getting a good pair of shoes. In my opinion, it's either you're spending $100 on a pair of shoes, or you're spending a couple $100 on a doctor's visit. So what do you prefer? In my experience, that's how it happens, is that when people go for the cheaper shoe, they don't get the kind of quality that or the right fit that they need, and they end up at the doctor's. They can't run for a while. So what's important to you? Running healthily and not going to the doctor's, that's important to me. Another thing about the fit of your shoe is you don't want to go small. You want to go big. So me personally, I am a full size big in my running shoes. So my foot measures at a 6.5, and I wear a 7.5 in my running shoes, because you don't want your toe here. You want about a thumb's width of room between the end of the shoe and your toe, so that your toe isn't jamming into the end, especially if you do any kind of hills, because you can get hammer toe, you can get bruised toenails, you can get bunions. I can go on, and it's not pretty. So when that person tells you you need to go a half to a full size bigger in your running shoes, don't freak out. That's important, and it's normal. And you always want to go to the bigger foot, because we all have one foot that's slightly bigger than the other foot. So make sure that they are fit well. Get a good toe box here. You don't want it too tight. If you have a little bit wider feet, go for a wider shoe. Brooks runs wider, Ultra, Saucony. Also, there's wide specific shoes. So if you need that, go for it. Because you want healthy, good, happy feet for a long time running. So getting fit is very important. I highly recommend it. I hope I answered all the questions and more. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.